So, okay, the test. All right, 7 matching. Those are all, write that down. 7 matching. Those are all names. Okay? They're all people. I'm going to give you a hint. 6 of the 7 people, first name starts with an H. So if you don't have 6 H's on your review sheet, you got to go find some in the notes. Does everybody know where the notes are? Alondra, you know where the notes are? Lizzie? Yeah. All right. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Multiple choice. 8 multiple choice. There are 5 fill in the blank. There are 7 true and false. Okay, that's 27 points right there, okay? The rest, the test is worth 48. So you got 21 points, long, short answer, okay? Is that right? 1 or 2? Okay. 2. All right, this is what I'm doing. All right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4-point IDs. ID is an identifier. Okay? That means you tell me everything you know about it. Who, what, where, when, how, whatever. Everything you know about it. During the test, or during the review, during the notes, I tried to give you some hints as we went along. And then if you look at the bottom of the review sheet, there's a 2-point answer and a 3-point. Get the bottom. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do for you, I have 6 4-point IDs. You're going to be able to not answer 2 of them. So you pick the 4 that you know the most about. Okay? So when you sit down and you look at the test, I'm like, oh crap, I don't know anything about the NRA. Then you can not answer that. Go on to a different one. That make sense? So those, that's where you're going to get your point. Okay, so you'll end up answering 4 IDs and a 3-point and 2-point answer. Long, short answer. Okay. Remember, when something's worth 4 points, you got to give me something. You can't just give me one sentence. That's not going to cut it, guys. You got to give me more information, like who ran the program? What was the program called? Because I may just give you the acronym. What does that acronym stand for? What does NRA stand for? National Recovery Admin. Now, if you have to guess on the A, there's more administrations than anything. Some of them are not administration, but most of them are administration. Like the Tennessee Valley is what? Authority. The PWA is administration, Public Works Administration. WPA is administration. Yes? Agricultural Adjustment Administration. So forth. Most of them are administration. Okay. You ready? We're going to go with this. Okay? All right. The Brain Trust. How would you describe that? Yeah, his cabinet and his advisors were known as the Bain Brain Trust. FDR. I'll tell you a funny story. I was teaching this a few years ago. This is really like my second year. And I remember the girl's name, but I'm not going to say it. She was blonde. We don't have any blondes in here, that's okay. So she's sitting over there, and we've got all these acronyms. We're going over the review sheet. And, you know, we're going AAA, PWA, and she goes, Mr. Ebright, what does FDR stand for? Yeah, she never lived that down. Okay. Yeah, FDR is Franklin Delano Roosevelt, for those of you that might have been wondering. Okay. Harry Hopkins, social worker. Roosevelt's, FDR's most trusted advisor. He ran the CWA. So remember, guys, on the people, I'm going to give you a little biography, and you match the name with the biography, right? So, social worker, Hopkins, CWA, got it. Right? Yeah. You can't miss that. You understand, people? There's no reason you should miss that. Same thing with Frances Perkins, which was a she. She was the first ever what? Female cabinet person. Actually, we had women elected to Congress before women could vote. Did you know? Yeah. Well, state legislatures anyways. Maybe not U.S. Congress, but yeah. Yeah. She couldn't even vote for herself. But this person, Frances, she was appointed, and she was Secretary of Labor. An easy way to remember that. She's female. Only women can go into labor. Okay? Unless you're really woke and think men can. Okay? Because that's the thing, I guess. A birthing parent, not a mother. Have you heard this? Okay. Henry A. Wallace. The A stands for what? Agriculture. Not his middle name, but he's the Secretary of Agriculture. Are you with me? This is called a mnemonic device. Helps you remember it. Henry A. Wallace was the Secretary of Agriculture. Kind of like Harold Ickes, Secretary of Interior. Oh, he's not on that. Harold Ickes, Secretary of Interior. Ickes. Okay. Henry Morgenthau, close friend and neighbor of Roosevelt, became Secretary of what? He replaced Mellon. Treasury, good. Long-term memory going on right there. So Morgenthau's Secretary of Treasury. Okay, now he's going to be important early on. Banking situation, the bank holiday and shutting down of the banks and that sort of thing. All right, we got two Stiegels. We got Glass-Steagall, which creates the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Glass-Steagall. And then the Wagner-Steagall, which creates the U.S. Housing Authority. They're the ones that built the projects. The projects. Okay, if it doesn't bother you, let's start with deflation. Okay, so deflation the value of the dollar goes what? Up. Okay, prices, wages, demand all go down. But the value of the dollar goes up, which it makes it harder to do what? Pay off debt, okay? This, because the money you're paying back that you owe, when you're paying money back, it's more valuable. Harder to get your hands on. Makes it hard to pay your debts, okay? So deflation is bad. So how do we reverse it? How do we create inflation? Print more money. So to get rid of that, we print money, okay, to cause inflation, in which the opposite of these will be the case. So value of the money goes down and these things go up. So you got two main things here, right? So you got deflation makes it more difficult to pay off loans. Okay, how do you create inflation? Print more money. Okay. Okay. Roosevelt's problem with the Supreme Court. Okay, so what did he want to do with the Supreme Court? He wanted to pack it. He wanted to add 6 plus 6 and a retirement age of 70. Yes? Okay. So they were striking down a lot of his stuff is unconstitutional. So he wanted to add his own judges, okay, justices. So generally, the Supreme Court did not agree with the New Deal programs. They were a breach of the Constitution. Okay, Social Security. You guys remember this? There's 3 parts, right? Everybody pays in taxes, right? So you got 6.2 tax, and then your employer's match. What kind of tax is that? So this is what you pay, and then your employer matches that. That's called payroll tax. When you own a company and you have people that work, payroll is what you pay your people, okay? And the tax that you pay for your people, payroll tax, okay? Now, this goes to what? There's 3 parts. This goes towards what? What's the money? You're taxed, goes to retirement. Okay, that's part one. Okay, that's number one. Okay. This one, the payroll tax the employers make, goes to number three, which is what? What about it? Part three is unemployment insurance. So if you're unemployed, you get laid off, this money from the employers, you get this for 26 weeks. Remember that? Didn't talk about this yet. None? Talk about this? The second part is direct assistance. This is for the disabled and for dependent children. Three parts of Social Security. Okay. This is going to be one of your options to write about. Okay. I'm sorry. I got a couple napkins up here. I'll go steal a box from somebody. Mm-hmm. Or do you guys want me to do the extra credit thing? Yeah. You want to do the Kleenex thing? Yeah. You like that idea? Yeah. I won't do that with my honors people. I got some people in here who could really use it. Okay. All right. Bring a box of Kleenex. 5. 5? Is that fair? No.
If we bring more than one box?
No. Yeah. No. I really don't like doing extra credit. Okay. What are we on? The dole. Hopefully we're not on the dole. Or we don't go on the dole when we get out of high school. Because if you're on the dole, you're on what? Welfare. Okay? I hope none of you wind up on the dole. Because I'll be paying for it. Now, if you pass this class and all your other classes, you get a high school diploma, which means you probably won't have to end up on the dole. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, it's just welfare programs. Okay, that's fine. That's all you need to know. All right. Fireside chats. What are these? When the president goes on the radio. Okay. Roosevelt. Not any president, just Roosevelt. They don't call any other president's radio addresses fireside chats. Just Roosevelt. Because he's special. All right, you ready? The SEC. Securities and Exchange Commission. Commission. Securities and Exchange Commission. This regulated what? The stock market. It regulates the stock markets and the people that work within it. Okay? The AAA, the Agricultural Adjustment Administration. Now remember this. This is where they paid farmers not to plant. Yes? They killed 6 million little pigs for that. Limited production so that what would go up? What goes up? Prices, right? So you're trying to limit supply, so prices go up. Yes? The PWA, Public Works, which means what? What kind of jobs? Government jobs. Okay? $3 billion, headed up by the Secretary of Interior, Ickes. What do they build? Construction projects, like what? Dams, bridges, tunnels, sewer systems, schools, all kinds of stuff. Infrastructure. The NRA, yeah. Public Works Administration. And the National Recovery Administration. The National Recovery Administration this was the one that Roosevelt really liked. Okay. This put codes on businesses, codes of production, prices. So, like what you could produce, how much you could produce. This also had the minimum wage and the max hours that people could work. This was headed up by a guy named Hugh. Johnson, an old World War I commander, general. Okay. Now, what happened to the NRA? It got shot down as unconstitutional. Okay. This is the one with the blue eagle. We talked about fascism, right? Okay, we talk about government control over industry, supercharged nationalistic status. Okay, you've got what? You've got the strong leader, right? You've got a crisis, the depression. You've got action, which is the New Deal, or the NRA. You got a symbol, which of the NRA was the blue eagle. So probably when we talk about fascism, this program more than any might be considered fascist. Okay, not all the New Deal programs. Okay, but this one in particular. Okay, just because of its control over industry like that. Okay. The TVA, Tennessee Somebody bring my spoon. Huh? I need a ladle today. You know what a ladle is? So I can just like give you all the information and just spoon feed you the information. The Tennessee Valley Authority. What did they build? Dams. Good, thank you. They built a bunch of dams, right, to try and improve that region of the United States economically. Okay. So you remember, you get a reservoir and you get all those things that come with it. CWA, Civil Works Administration. I did not have that in the notes. Civil Works Administration, and it was run by whom? You can't just say government. Harry Hopkins, at the top of your number 2 on your list. Who ran the NRA? And don't say the government. Yes. Okay. That's all you need to know, okay, for CWA. WPA. Works Progress. And again, administration. Now, this is like Public Works, but with an entertainment flavor to it. So remember, Lawrence Dumont Stadium, downtown Wichita, right? Baseball stadium. Okay, it's a construction project built for entertainment purpose. Yes? Okay, so this put like artists, actors, musicians, put them to work doing stuff like that as well. Instead of them doing construction projects, they actually did art, music, and so forth. Okay, FDIC became law under Glass-Steagall. It stands for Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Say that again. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. And that's the, how much would they insure your money up to in the banks? Today it's $250, $5,000 at the time. Insure your money up to $5,000. That way people wouldn't freak out, take all the money out of the bank, because they knew the government was backing up their money, right? Same thing today. You have $250,000 in the bank and the bank goes under, the government insures that money. Okay, so you won't lose it. That way people don't freak out and take all their money out. Yes? National Youth Administration, the NYA. Junior, come on, stay with me.
All right.
This is
National government.
we are on NYA now.
Oh, NYA.
Yeah, you missed a few. Okay, National Youth Administration. Gave who people jobs? The youths. Gave the young people jobs. The C, Civilian Conservation Corps. Corps. Spell it right. That's a hint. Hi. Civilian Conservation Corps. Yeah. You do not. P is silent. So is the S, for that matter. Marine Corps. You don't say Marine Corps, right? Or Peace Corps. Yes.
Why don't they just put an E after R?
Because it's the frickin' English language, and there's a lot of stupid crap in it if you haven't found out by now. Right? This is not an abbreviation. This is a word.
What's it?
Spell it right, or it's wrong. Civilian Conservation Corps took young men 18 to 25, right? Sent them out where? To the wilderness. They worked in national parks and national forests. 250,000 of them. Built trails, buildings, repaired old Revolutionary forts, Revolutionary War forts, Civil War forts. They paid them $30 a month. What do they have to do with 25 of it? Send it home to the family. That's the CCC. Okay. The NLRB is the National Labor Relations Board. The National Labor Relations Board. Okay. Allows for unions. Okay. Protects unions. From unfair practices by business. As when I talked about Boeing building that factory in South Carolina. Okay. All right. 1932. FDR wins. First time. 34. This is called a midterm election. Bless you. Dems gain seats. 36. FDR wins. And he has a tuxedo. With what? Coattails. Okay. Dems take control of Congress, both houses.
What, 38?
In 36. For the first time since. Yep. Now, 38. 1937, we get the Roosevelt recession. And the purge the Democratic Party, which is the last slide in your notes, people. Okay? And the Republicans gained 75 in the House, 75 seats in the House, 7 in the Senate. So for the first 6 years here, Dems are doing great. But in 38, Republicans bounce back. Now, fascism, supercharged, nationalistic, statism, has 4 characteristics. 1, strong leader. And then there's got to be a what? Crisis. And to respond to that crisis, you need what? Action. These are usually accompanied by some sort of symbol. The swastika, which will be the discussion of my first lecture on Wednesday. The Adolf Hitler. Moving into the World War II era. Next, okay. Beer. Remember this? The economy bill, which was a balanced budget, so Roosevelt wanted to cut veterans' pensions and government wages. This was an unpopular bill. It wasn't going to pass. So this is your budget bill. And what did they add to it? Yeah, legalize beer and wine. This is not the 21st Amendment. 21st Amendment was being sent to the states, okay, to repeal prohibition. This legalizes beer and wine before the 21st Amendment is ratified. You guys remember the 21st repeals the 18th. The 18th was prohibition, yes? So at 18, it's illegal to drink. 21, it's legal to drink. Now, those amendments have nothing to do with drinking age, but it's an easy way to remember it. Yes? Yeah.
What is it undercut the pensions?
Cut government wages. So these were not popular. I mean, people didn't want to do that. But when they added this to it, they voted for it. Because these were in the budget. They didn't like it. They added this to it, and then people voted for it. That's how they got it passed. Does that make sense? And then court packing. Talked a lot about this. Okay. Of course, the Supreme, yeah.
Is there an amendment for the drinking age?
No, the drinking age is a state law. So every state has 21 as the drinking age. Now, when I was living in Florida in 1986, I was 17 years old when I graduated from high school. They changed the law from 18 to 21. My sister was 19. Okay, so she was already able to drink. So they grandfathered those people in that were 18 and above. They could still drink, but 17-year-olds like myself would have to wait 4 years to legally drink. Now, those are all state laws. So could a state changed their drinking age to lower than 21? Yes. Louisiana did. They kept it at 18, thinking they could get more people come into Nolans, young people, to party and spend money. They'd get more money that way than they would from the government money for roads, because that's what the national government said. If you want money for transportation, you'll change your drinking age to 21. And Louisiana said no. And then if you drive in Louisiana, the roads still stink. Eventually, by 1988, Louisiana changed to 21. So they were the last one. Now, the tobacco law is a national law of 21. They didn't even ask us. They just did it. So you can be drafted into the U.S. military, be forced to go overseas and fight for your country, and not be able to legally drink a beer or smoke a cigarette. Something's wrong there. That's why they changed the voting age to 18. Because people were able to get drafted, they couldn't even vote for the people that were sending them off to war. You know what I mean? Now, if I meet a 20-year-old veteran, you know, they went over to serve for me, I'd gladly buy that person a beer. They earned it. Don't you think? Yeah. I mean, come on, man. All right. So Roosevelt, unhappy with the Supreme Court. 9, you want to add 6, right? You want to add 6, and then you had retirement age of 70, which was 2. Now this never happened. Ford packing never happened. He just threatened it. Remember, the switching time saves 9. So these 2 old men switched their vote on minimum wage, and we stayed 9 Supreme Court justices. Okay? I'll be around in the morning if any of you guys have questions about tests, need some extra help, come see me in the morning. Okay?